As y'all know, last night, if you was tuned into the show last night, I was telling y'all that Cam was getting too personal with the back and forth with Dame, right? I tell y'all he was acting like a broad and was you know, he was pillow talking. You know what I mean? I don't know what's up with him and the dude Larry, but he was saying a lot of the stuff that the dude Larry was telling him, opposed to, whatever gripes that he got with Dame and what Dame had did to him personally. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna tighten my pants up. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I don't know if him and the dude Larry's bonking allegedly, but all that stuff Cam was doing yesterday was a lot of pillow talking. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I got the power. What up? Uh, so I was ahead of the curve when I was saying that because late last night, Dame Dash posted that he was suing Cameron for 300 million. You know, and if you listen to what Dame said, I don't know if he's watching me or not. Possibly he can be. And like I said, I'm not out here to defend Dame. You know what I'm saying? Because people say, yo, Choke, man, you be defending Dame and then he be talking bad about you. You know, and I get what y'all say when y'all say that. And at times it may look like I'm defending Dame, but it don't matter if a dude is talking bad about me or not. You know, I'm gonna keep it 6 o'clock all the time, straight up and down. I'm not gonna cap. If he right about something, then he right. If he wrong about something, then he wrong. If he lying about something, I'm gonna tell him he lying about it. If he telling the truth, it's the truth. Just because I don't get along with a person or a person did me wrong, I'm not going to play into uh, kicking a back in or talking or contributing to stuff that ain't true and lying, just because of they may be talking bad about me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it solid all the way around because that's just who I am. If I got a problem with them, I'll just deal with my problem with them. But I'm gonna pull up what Dame said last night. Now, what I can say is Dame shot back at Cam and was talking about, his mother, which, I don't play those mother games. So I feel like, Dame, even though I know he's like, yo, to Cam, like, yo, oh, you want to drag family into it? And they talked about his mother, how Cam had her living in the studio that was part of a strip club or something, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like Dame got to stoop to Cam's level, but I can understand him being hurt. And once you start hitting below the belt, that's where we going. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say with me, with Cam, with us going back and forth, I'm just keeping it all in fun because I know stuff that Cam wouldn't think that I would know. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't go there just for the sake of us going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't destroy his brand like that. I wouldn't destroy him like that by releasing that type of information unless he went below the belt. You know what I'm saying? So I could see where Dame is upset and would go and do that out of emotion. Me, I'm not going to do that out of emotion. You know, I'll let a person draw first blood, and then if they go there to the point where they going for the juggler, then I'm gonna go for the juggler. You know what I'm saying? But excuse me, I got to come out this hoodie. I just got out the shower. I ain't trying to sweat already, and I ain't do one push-up yet. Yeah, save that sweat for them push-ups. Shout out to all my Mexicans out there and all my Thai people. All right. My Latinos, y'all know what it is. So, yeah, like I'm not going to do that because, like I said, we could go back and forth and we could talk trash about each other. You know what I'm saying? But you know, once you start involving family and stuff, that's when it starts getting messy. Hold on, let me pull up what Dame said. So Dame said last night, I never hustled with Cameron. He's a civilian, but he's effing with my family office, and now he's made my wife and two of my sons uncomfortable, right? And like I told y'all last night, if you caught the live from last night, if you didn't go back and check it out, you know, Cam bringing um, Dame Dash Jr., Boogie, as most of us would know him as, bringing him into it and using whatever information the dude Larry gave him, and you know, putting that out there, that was foul. You know what I'm saying? That was completely foul on Cam's behalf, and that's why I said, you know, him and the dude Larry, I call that pillow talking. You know what I'm saying? Because Larry may have told Cam all the stuff that Cam said about Dame's son, but it wasn't his place for him to say it because he didn't do that for Dame's son. Somebody else did that for Dame's son. And then, you know, Cam was lying, saying that it was a 5-year period, and the dude Larry had to correct Cam and say, nah, it was only 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? But which goes to show that Cam wasn't being factual. You know what I'm saying? And he was trying to embarrass Dame's son, which I'm sure he did, because that's, you know, that's kind of embarrassing in the context that he laid it out. And I knew that for Dame, knowing Dame, that was going to either result in them coming into blows or having real beef. It like the gloves was off after that when you dragging my son into this and embarrassing my son and embarrassing my family, and they don't have nothing to do with me and you got going on, especially with the relationship that Cam and Dame had. You know what I'm saying? Like for Cam to go below the belt on Dame ain't necessary. Cause it's a bunch of stuff that he could say, he could clown them with. You know what I'm saying? You know, from his appearance to, you know, his financial situation. Like you ain't gotta involve his family. You ain't gotta go and tell secrets that's not public related. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to talk about what he said to you personally about the Queen of Harlem and things like that, knowing that his girl is going to be watching and seeing. And, you know, it's just too much other stuff that you could talk about going back and forth with each other, opposed to um, really involving his family and stuff like that. You know, so like I said last night, Cam was really acting like a broad. You know what I'm saying? I want to say the other B word, but I'm not. Right? You know, he was really acting like a chick, real emotional and stuff. And then, like I said, him pillow talking with the dude Larry, you know what I'm saying, and releasing all Larry's dirt on Dane was a broad move, a chick move. You know what I'm saying? So